Hey guys, so about 2 years ago I uploaded a video which asked a very simple question to you, the audience, which was, how was your day?
Ooh, yeah.
Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads, both today and yesterday.
And oh, hi, how was your day? And I think,
I'm tired of being told what to do by people.
Excuse me. I believe you have my stapler.
Stop arguing. Arguing is just not worth it.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Wow. That was awesome.
I'm exhausted.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Wow. Angel, thank you. Hey, Pete. Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning, Sheila. Welcome to the Coastal Sports Network, which is, not always about sports. And can't wait your debut show today. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for letting me come on here. I just do entertainment. You are the sports guru guys. I'm the hey, what's going on in the background of the sports stuff, and let's talk about music and let's talk about stuff, fun
Or
stuff.
let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
How about socks? We'll talk about socks
Salt and pepper would say.
instead. Yes, yes. Just so you know, Angel, my guest is having an issue with her camera, I guess. She's not able to pull it up. It won't sync. So I don't know what to tell her, but anyway, we'll keep trying, I suppose. Yeah.
Yep.
She's here. She says, but I'm here. Okay, refresh your camera, girl.
Or just X out and come back in. Usually that.
Yeah.
Is she on a laptop or a phone?
She should be on her laptop. She's
Okay.
she's at home today, I believe. Currently, though, let's talk about something else. How about
Let's talk about your show, baby. What's it all? It's all going to be about entertainment and lifestyle issues and some serious
lifestyle?
issues too, which is
Yeah.
great.
No
Yeah.
politics, no religion, just
No.
fun. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about fun. We'll talk about gossip. We'll have cool people on here to talk to, like today's first guest. I mean, today's Friday the 13th. So I think that's a really great way to open the show. Friday the 13th. Are you guys superstitious?
No.
No,
No. Never have been. No. No. Not my thing. No.
I'm
Uh,
not either. I
Black cat.
believe in numbers, but I don't, think that anything bad's going to happen today.
The only
Unless,
thing that happened is get maybe a lightning strike here in Southwest Florida, as you know, Sheila, and same with Angel up in Tampa. That's
did
always
you,
a possibility this time of year.
that was insane in the last couple days, the amount of rain we've had. It's been,
We needed it.
yeah, oh
We
gosh, I know,
we
I
needed it.
know. But hi, was that Trudy? What did? Oh, okay, okay.
I can hear the doctor, but I can't see her though. Well, I see the. Hmm.
It's telling me my camera isn't plugged in, is what she's telling me.
No, no, but your laptop computer should work. Is the light on top of the laptop, the camera working? Should be a little white light at the top of the laptop, like right up. No, she can't see me.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, you can see us. We can't see you. That's odd.
You
Actually, I can see down here. Your camera's muted. Hang on. I You see, but can you see on on your camera on your picture there? There's a red slash going through it. Just click on that for a second. Oh, it didn't work. It's got to be something in settings. I'm sure it's an easy fix. It's got to be something in settings.
Wow. Oh, holy cow, my first show. Wee.
You are.
I love that. All right, well, you keep trying the camera and just keep texting me and let me know or tell us, I guess. You can tell us because we can hear you.
But again, at the top of your laptop, there should be a little white light that's on, indicating the camera is operating, and you don't see that. The little white light is not on.
I do not see a white light. Let me see.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something at the
I've
very top.
never, I've never seen that. I've always just used it.
Yeah, but
It's
there's got to be a light that lights up that tells you the camera's on.
All right. Well, let's look for help.
Oh my goodness. So Friday the 13th. I don't know.
Say
Maybe
that.
maybe I'm starting to think. At least I brought good friends with me today, I brought my slippers. Yeah. This is Paul
Oh,
and
those are precious.
yes, Paul and Stanley, as you can understand.
Paul Stanley from Kiss.
You got it. Those are my good luck slippers, so.
First concert ever, baby, 1977.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Providence Civic Center at the time.
Oh.
Yep. It was, I was so into them. It was like crazy. I finally watched the documentary on Hulu about it. There's a 2-part series about the whole, it's fantastic. And Gene Simmons, Gene and Paul are so smart. Peter
Yes.
and they got a little crazy, but it's a fascinating story about that band. It really is.
Well, I was going to ask you anyway, what have you been watching lately? Last night we watched Becoming Led Zeppelin on Netflix. Have you watched?
I saw it. How was that?
Amazing, dude. It was crazy good. They took a look at it where they're looking at all the members of the band and watching them watch themselves on TV when they were in their heyday and stuff. And it was really a great way to look at this whole story. And it was really, really amazing. So I highly recommend that.
I want to see that. Yeah, the last documentary I watched on Netflix was about getting Bin Laden. It was really good.
I haven't watched that one yet.
A lot of behind the scenes background stuff that was really cool from people that were in the government back then.
Did you watch that Cocaine Air thing?
No, I didn't.
I tried. It looked really interesting. It's about these pilots that stole a bunch of cocaine and, smuggled it. And it was so poorly dubbed, I couldn't watch it. It was just.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, no, 5 minutes. No, I can't do this. So I just, bam, shut it off.
We watched the end of the last season 6 of Handmaid's Tale, which is just unbelievable. Wow. It's just, what a great series. Dark as hell on the whole.
Yeah.
It took place from my home state in Massachusetts, a lot of it, even though you could never tell. There was always a tint behind it. Like it was never really sunny and bright. It was always like whatever. But.
Oh, dude. Something else that's a really dark series to watch is Animal Kingdom on Netflix. Have you watched that?
No, I haven't watched that either yet.
Woo!
Really?
Ellen Barkin is
Oh, I love Ellen Barkin.
yeah, she is the mastermind behind everything. She's
still looking good?
Yes, she looks fabulous.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's like 6 seasons of this, and they just dropped it onto Netflix. And let me say, I had never heard of it before. My friend watched it on FX, the whole thing before this, but it's amazing. It's all about kind of like the drug world in California, but there's a lot of killing and a lot of things you don't expect.
Yeah,
like Breaking Bad with more drugs. amazing. It was. Oh.
Breaking Bad with more drugs. Wow. Well, the first time I remember Ellen Barkin was in Sea of Love with Al Pacino. A couple of intense scenes.
Oh, yes. She's got some fantastic movies out there, but
Yeah.
this series is just crazy good. Do we not have Yvette yet? I'm seeing we don't. No Yvette?
Not yet.
Okay.
The audio, she was there. She said she could see us. We couldn't see her.
Oh, my Lord, love. Well,
And now Angel's on speakerphone with her.
okay. Yes, yes, Jay, you're right. He would love Animal Kingdom, and it was on TNT. You're right. Not
Yeah, Jay,
FX.
by the way, is up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. He's from New England originally, but one of my great guests I have on once or twice a week. He's a good guy.
Well, Jay, hey man, yes, Friday the 13th issue.
Tell him you're a Buckeye fan. Watch his reaction.
OH.
Sheila's from Ohio originally, that area.
I'm a total transplant now, though. I only go back home to do fun stuff mostly. Yeah. I actually just bought tickets to go see a man that I have never ever seen perform, even though I've hung out and partied with this guy. So I'm going to go watch him in a cornfield perform. Dave Chappelle.
Oh my God! You got to take a video of. Oh, they won't let the camera.
No videos. Yeah,
gotta
man.
do something. Dave Chappelle in a cornfield
Dude, this is what he started back.
in the middle of nowhere in Ohio.
Yeah. Actually, it's right behind a place called Young's Jersey Dairy Farm, and this place is so cool. They have like the best ice cream. People line up for days to go get this stuff. They've got a cut your own Christmas tree farm. They own all this land. So back behind all their stuff, I don't know who built it, but it's a pavilion. And Wirrig Pavilion, WIRRIG. Dave has been doing his shows there called Summer Camp since COVID hit.
Wow.
And I looked it up. Craziest thing that happened. I told my brother if we were both back in town at the same time and Dave was around, because Mom lives just 5 miles away from, down the road from Dave Chappelle. So it lined up like I cannot believe. Last Friday, I'm like, you serious? Oh, yeah, I'll get in queue. Oh, I'm only behind 346 people. Yes. And I got tickets. And I'm like, holy crap. We're going to see Dave Chappelle, Steve.
No will call window or anything like that either. So
no, nothing. I think what I was reading, you don't get alcohol there either.
Well, you got to sneak that in. You know how to do that. I mean,
no, I don't. I haven't done that since I was 16.
I mean, I put little nips in your pocket or whatever, and then I'm sure they're going to have soda there, some sort of soda or club soda. You can always do that.
Yeah, I guess. I'll probably just have a couple gummies. How's that? That's better. Take my stuff internally in. Yeah. Anyway, I've never spent $200 on a ticket to go see anybody do anything.
Really?
Ever. Yeah. I've been privileged my entire life to go see all these shows and be friends with people. And
yeah, once I got in the business, yes. But before that, I can remember, I remember paying for a lot of sports tickets back in the day.
I'd go see like our local hockey team, the Ice Bandits. I'd go see that. I loved it. But rock shows and whatnot back in the 80s, late 70s, $6.50 is what my ticket to Heart said. Heart, buddy. And I know you're going.
I'm going to see them at Hertz Arena here in Estero, Florida, coming up was it in the 25th? I think the 25th. So I'm looking forward to that, even though I've seen Ann been singing in a wheelchair lately.
Yep. Yep.
But she still sounds good. There's 2 sets, whatever that means. So I'm assuming. I mean, every song they sing, anyway. So I've never
Yes.
gotten to see them. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm so happy you get to go. I saw her in a venue that maybe holds 1,000 people. And I was like third row. She was just amazing.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great, and Nancy's one of the best guitar players ever. She's fantastic. Just
Virtuoso. Oh, music is just amazing from that band. And I've always loved the mystique that Dog and Butterfly, the album, had in it. It was just so nice and calm and just always
Yep.
made me feel good.
And I've seen them unplugged too. Back in the day on MTV, I've seen them unplugged. Joey says, "Heart, the Reels Channel documentary on the band. Whoa, crazy! Like those 2 ladies have lived, let alone the band romances." Well, that's typical. Oh, the ABBA documentary on Netflix is unbelievable too. I mean, that is, you talk about a unique sound, and don't ever believe anybody who says they don't like ABBA because they're lying. It's impossible not to like them. At least a couple of songs, but that is an amazing band. What they did. And they only toured a couple times in the United States, and not many big venues either. It's crazy. But that whether you like them or not, that documentary on Netflix is amazing.
Well, the Reels channel, what is that? Where can I find that?
It's a cable channel.
Cable channel? Okay. Because I did not know the band Romances. I knew like all the Fleetwood Mac stuff, but I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, I think I think they were dating guitar players at the time. I don't know how long the relationships lasted, but that sounds like typical band stuff.
Yeah.
You're on the road with people. You're on the road with people.
Well, back then it was way different than now. I mean, now it seems a little cleaner than the lifestyles they were living back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember the ABBA stuff. I mean, they didn't do a lot. I mean, there's some drinking and stuff. I don't think the 4 of them, if I remember, there wasn't a lot of heavy drugs or anything like that. But they became so popular so quickly. And then, one of the girls had a baby, and she's like, they basically, I'm not doing this. And after a while, after like 5-6 years, it just got to be too much, going all over the world. And they didn't do a lot of U.S. tours, like I said, not many.
Wow.
Not many venues in the United States. It's serious. I mean, you don't see a lot of even videos out there of ABBA in the United States. It's not there.
No.
But
Whoa! Hey! Guess what? Whee!
Whoop, there she is.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Sheila,
yes.
only us. Sheila.
I know. What the hell, girl?
Sheila.
How
Only
did you do
us.
this?
How easy was the fit? How
This
easy
is
was the
such
fix?
a typical encounter for
Every
the 2
time.
of us over the years. Are you kidding me?
Tell them.
How simple was the fix? How
Oh
simple
my
was
God.
How'd you get your camera to work? Angel walk you through it? Was it just a real simple, stupid thing? Right?
Angel, come on, Angel. Yes.
Angel rocks, man.
Angel,
Yes.
Hercules, yeah.
Yes, Hercules.
Hercules. Hercules.
You just went and hung out with your friend DL Hughley, right? That's what you
did.
Yeah.
Oh, he's funny. How's he doing?
He's amazing.
Hang on, Angel, what?
Oh, that's right. We got her walk up music.
Oh,
Oh, I have what, like theme music?
Yeah.
So just shh for a minute. Thanks. Shit.
Everyone.
Awesome.
I don't know how many times I've seen them play, and I never thought you would go play with them, but we'll talk about that coming up.
I can't wait to hear that story.
Tease. But anyway, Yvette, Diva, can you remember how we met?
We met in Dayton on Clear Channel Radio at, I think you were on TUE, or were you
I was
the X?
there. I was on the X. I came
Okay.
upstairs to visit you
Either way,
guys.
but you were doing, what were you doing? Were you doing weekends or overnights, or what were you doing?
All of that crap.
All of it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I met you through Joe,
Mhm.
and it was just, and we just hit it off, and it was over.
Yeah, we've
We
been
were
kind
kindred
of.
spirits really quickly.
Yeah, it's
Really
like
quickly.
some people you're supposed to really, really be friends with, and it doesn't matter. It's like you were dropped into their life, and there they are, for the rest of your life, and I love that.
I used to take her dog. I used to
Yes.
kidnap the dog because we
Yes.
found out that we lived walking distance
Mhm.
from each other in Oakwood, and I was on the Kettering border, but you were in the Oakwood border,
Yeah.
and I would just literally walk over there or drive over there, and pick up Sarah.
Yes.
And you just had this amazingly beautiful, warm snuggle. This is back when I had no pets,
Yep.
and I knew I wanted one, but I didn't know what I wanted, and so Sarah was like community pet in the household, and my
Yep.
kids would come home from school, and I would pick them up, and there was this dog in the car, and they were like, I mean, oh my God, they loved her. We loved that dog. We loved that dog hard.
Yeah, we all did. I mean,
I know.
she lived to be 20 something, She was
20?
Yeah, she was
I knew you took her to Florida.
No, Sarah passed
No?
away before we left for Florida, but we've got
Okay.
Daisy down here. We've had her for 15 years.
Yeah,
so
you've had Daisy, man. But I didn't know she lived 20 years.
It was she
Over
was
20
10.
years.
Yeah, she was 10 at least when we got her from the shelter, and then we had her for 12. So
Gotcha.
she was cool. But anyway,
She was
let's
incredible.
talk about you.
Yeah,
What
let's talk
you
about
want? What you need? What are we
Dr. Yvette.
doing?
Hold
Dr.
on. What?
Yvette Diva Williams. Let's take I mean, tell the audience about yourself, and we know how you met Sheila, but
Here.
I hear a lot of unique things about your life, which is awesome. But tell
There,
the audience
there's
all about
me.
you. Brag about yourself, damn it.
Well, hold
A
on.
female is what is it? A diva is a female version of a hustler. Of a
And
hustler.
and she is a hustler, because not only did we work at the radio station together, but you worked with Joe at the recording studio and Mo Beats, and
And I was bodybuilding during that
you
time.
froze. What? Say that again.
I was bodybuilding during that time.
And you still are, kind of, sort of.
I mean, I try to stay in shape, but
Yeah.
I'm not competing. Those competition days for me are long gone.
That's all right.
The game is a little different. So, but I still enjoy tossing iron.
You are still the queen of muscles. I don't care what you
Oh
say.
my goodness.
Anyway, let's talk about Disturbed. So what goes, all right. Here you are. You're a doctor. You've got twins, beautiful girls.
Yes, and they love you. Your
Hello.
Auntie Sheila.
Yes, they're the most beautiful. She's got cool kids. She's raised them well, because being a single mother is never easy.
No.
But I just got to say, you did the radio, and then the singing. You're a doctor, but let's start with Disturbed.
We can start wherever you like.
How on earth did you make this happen?
I've always been a fan, and I was introduced to the band, the first album, The Sickness. We were all on radio together.
Yep.
And I want to say it was one of the TUE DJs. It might have been Aaron. It might have been Aaron. And he said, yo, you got to hear this. I know you like different music. I know you like different styles, because I was into, who else was around during that time? It was Linkin Park, Papa Roach.
Yes, all that vein.
Disturbed, because that was the Ozfest ticket that year.
Okay.
Because nobody would go with me. Y'all gave me tickets and nobody would go with me.
You didn't ask me.
I didn't.
Oh, I'd have been.
Oh my God, I should have just gone by myself. But so I've always loved them. I've always loved music, all types of music. My daddy, R.I.P., would always tell me, if you're going to be a musician, you cannot just leave yourself in a box. You've got to know all different genre of music. Even if it's not your cup of tea, you at least have to know it.
Right.
And that's what I did. And the more I started getting into metal, the more it was speaking to me.
Right.
So, I fell in love with the album The Sickness, and I fell in love with that album because during that time I was going through a rough patch.
Yep.
We all do. And I recall, well, how do you say this diplomatically, not wanting to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And when I was in recovery for that, I had Lord, we're dating ourselves here, the Sony Discman. Remember that? The Discman.
Yeah, the little compact CD
the compact CD player. The Sony Discman.
Way overpriced, by the way.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
it was.
I had one of those in the hospital with me. And the album that I brought with me was Disturbed's The Sickness. And during that time, I had nothing but time for a couple of days, but I really listened to the music and I was like, wow, this lead singer gets it. I didn't know anything about the band, but I was like, this lead singer gets it. He knows pain. He knows struggle. He knows, he's been through some things, and he's likely been through what I'm going through right now. So that was the only music that spoke to me. And so that's what I kept. Fast forward. I went to a concert. I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are incredible. I want to say they were there with Megadeth. I saw them with Megadeth. And I saw them again and I was like, these guys are phenomenal. I'm meeting them. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to meet these guys. So my friend was like, okay, well, Diva, whatever you say you're going to do, you end up doing. So we're just going to follow you along for the ride. Moving on about another few years, they came out with the 10,000 Fists tour, and they offered meet and greets. Well, back then, shoot, the meet and greet was $275. Hell yeah, I'm going. I took my girlfriend. She goes, Yvette, first of all, because I had meet and greets and pit seats. And she was like, sweetie, you're not going by yourself.
Oh.
Like, why not? I can handle this. She goes, I don't know this band. I don't know this band from a can of paint. She goes, but I'm going with you. And it was my homegirl Alicia, and she's a boxer, like she's a Golden Gloves prize fighter. So I think she went to security, but it was
For you?
because I was in the pit.
Well, yeah, but
I'm
I mean,
5 foot. I'm 5'1". I'm in the pit. I'm this little, and then I just felt like we got there, and there's the whole stereotype about black girls in heavy metal.
Is there?
Yeah.
I just don't fit in that group, but I know what you're talking about because, yeah.
And
Mhm.
so we were in the line for the meet and greet, and I looked around and I was like,
The only
I
one.
said, you know what? I said, I really feel out of place here. And this one girl, I should have gotten her name, chick in front of me, white, short crop, looked like the typical heavy metal, had her spikes and everything else. And she turned around and she looked at me and she said, nah, girl, you are right where you need to be.
Oh,
See?
And I just went and I looked at her and I think we hugged, and I've never felt out of place since. So we did the meet and greet. We met them on the 10,000 Fists album. They've got like a montage of photographs of little sketches of people with the fist in the air. They have a little cute chocolate girl in the crowd in the front with a fist up, with her hair pulled up, with the lipstick, and it looked like me. So I took the picture, I blew it up, I took it in there with me, and I was like, thanks for representing me. And David and David Draymond, the lead singer, and Dan Donegan, the guitarist, went, oh crap, that doesn't look like you.
I love it.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
Either way, we took the picture, and we all met, we took pictures, and we scooted off, and that was that. And I told the like the management, not management, but like the PR crew, and I said, dang it. I said, I wish I would have sang for David Draymond. That would have been so epic. And the guy was like, excuse me, did I hear that you sing? And I said, yeah, I do. I said, I'm kind of a soul singer, but, I love rock so much. And I just wanted to sing Stupefy for David Draymond. I just wanted to sing that for him, to him, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, really? He said, okay, why don't y'all hang out here till the meet and greet's over? So I hung out, meet and greet was over. David Draymond's walking over to me. He goes, I hear you have some pipes. Hello. So, that's funny. And I sang Stupefy to him. He gave me a hug. They interviewed me. It was blah, 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 and that was that, no biggie. We're standing in the pit. He sings Stupefy. He stands right in front of me. He's pointing at me, and he's singing the song directly at me. And all of these guys in the pit just start jumping on me. He's singing to you, girl. He's singing to you. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I'm like, y'all are like 6'3". I'm going to need y'all to get off me.
Was this like Bruce Springsteen? Was this like Bruce Springsteen pointing out Courtney Cox back in the day in the video and calling her up on stage?
We're almost there.
Dancing in the dark.
Fast forward a few years. They come out on tour again, and I get a meet and greet with my bestie. There were no tickets there. I don't think they came to Cincinnati that year, so we ended up buying meet and greet tickets and drove to Pittsburgh.
Oh.
To PPG Arena.
Ew.
So we rolled out. We drove out there. She flew in from Texas.
Oh.
And we did the meet and greet. And so I met them again, and I looked at David and I said, do you remember me? And he said, vaguely. Refresh my memory. And I said, I sang Stupefy to you a couple of years ago. And he was like, oh my gosh. And then everybody was like, yeah, we were talking about you for weeks, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. I said, well, this was the Evolution record. And so I took one of the songs from the Evolution record. It's called In Another Time. And I rewrote the lyrics to thank them for being my saving grace when I was recovering in the hospital. And I sang that, and all of them just stood back, because the song originally goes, in another time. What was it? In another time? I'm thinking about my words now, but it's basically a song about technology running our lives.
Yeah.
And so I took the words and I wrote, in another time, I was lost inside, and your music is what helped me to stay alive. So I'm reaching out. I hope you realize that I love you guys. And so I sang that to them, and I'm a little sinusy right now. You don't want to hear it this morning.
No.
And so there's my boys. And so I'm in the front again with Bestie, and Dan Donegan walks over to me and he goes, give me your phone. And I went, what are you taking my phone for? I said, here. So he took my phone, and David is giving this introduction. He said, we met somebody at the meet and greet we've met her a couple of times, but she really impressed the hell out of me with her voice today, and I want to bring her on stage.
Surprise.
That happened so fast, you guys. That he didn't tell me. There was no warning. I was a couple glasses of wine in. I was like completely not prepared. Sheila, you know I don't mix alcohol and vocals, but
No.
clearly something was gonna happen that night. So I just went, oh my God. Next thing I knew, this big, thick, corn-fed man just snatched me up like a sack of potatoes and flung me over the ledge, and we're running up to the stage, and he goes, give me your purse, I'm gonna hold everything, here's your phone, you take pictures, you do this, you do that, you do that. I was like,
Oh
excuse me,
gosh.
what? And so, and he goes, walk over to David, and David is standing there with his hand out, and he goes, come on up, sweetie, you asked for it. I said, I didn't ask for shit. What are we doing? And so he said, tell everybody your name. I gave my name, and he said, y'all, Yvette Williams has a CD of her own. She's got an incredible voice, and she really impressed me with this reinvention of the song that she sang backstage from the Evolution record. She goes, you want to give it a shot? You want to do it here? And I went, oh, really? And he said, yeah, this is your Disturbed Idol moment. And I said, Disturbed Idol. And he goes, the mic is all yours. And I went, I'm looking around, and Dan still has my phone. He's filming this
That's awesome.
for me. And I looked at David, and I said, well, I mean, I sang to you guys originally. I said, can I sing to you? And he took the mic. He goes, I would love for you to sing to me. He gets down on one knee and does this.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, y'all are milking this shit. Okay, now we got to perform. So, there's an old phrase in entertainment, you stay ready so you don't got to get ready, right? So I sang what I sang backstage. And David was like, this woman is incredible, y'all. What I tell you, is that awesome or what? Anybody out there with a record label or so-and-so, y'all need to get this girl because she's got some talent. And girl, we want you to sit on the stage with us for this next song. And they did The Light. And, I was hoping I was going to get fire and pyros and shit, but I ain't getting none of that. But I guess that's what's called a liability. So, so they did The Light, and David came over, and they gave me my phone back, and it was incredible. So next thing I know, I woke up, and this video of me was on YouTube, and I was like, oh my God, and then I got a text. It said, Disturbed has tagged you in a post. And I went,
Yeah.
are you serious? And I called Bestie, and I was like, ah! And it was this, thank you, Yvette, for sharing your beautiful voice on stage with us for our crowd, blah, blah, blah. We wish you the best, and yada, yada, yada. All of that, the whole video of that whole encounter, it went viral. And it landed into the lap of folks who work for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wow.
And then I ended up working for him because of them.
Unbelievable. Ladies, I have to bug out. I got a couple of people that want to talk to me that I need to talk to. But this is so awesome. Welcome to the Coastal Sports Network. Welcome, Sheila. Welcome, Dr. Yvette. Great stuff. You guys keep going. I'm going to take a couple of calls, and then I'll come back and listen off air. You guys are awesome. All the best, ladies. And
Thank you.
A lot of viewerships already, a lot of messages. So keep it going.
Cool.
Yay!
Yes. Welcome everybody, because this girl is just there. We could talk for a couple more hours, but I tell you, Angel, we won't, because I know you got to do your day too, but we're going to keep talking until 10 or whatever time, 11. That's it. Okay, cool. Thank you. So we've gotten to Arnold. So then what? I mean, with Arnold, you work out. You're a muscles singer with muscles.
Just watched Yvette's video on YouTube. Cool moment for sure. Thank you, Joey. Love. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Let's stay in touch. Oh my God.
See, I love sharing. I love sharing my friends. I've got the best friends. Seriously. Girl, you were there when I had to do crappy stuff over the summer, and you do not know how thankful I was for that. So thanks.
I love you.
I love you more.
Impossible.
But anyway, let's talk about Arnold.
Okay.
Yes, please. I don't want to cry.
I know. I don't either because I will.
I know.
Because I will.
I know.
But
Arnold.
side note, just real quick, the
Yeah.
wildflowers,
Yeah.
I'm planting them. I finally found a place for them in my yard. So I'm gonna have a sweet little wildflower garden for her.
Her birthday was last Friday.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, Arnold.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yes, you'll be back, and
I'll be back.
and you'll be back again.
I'm back.
Because he says that you're coming back every year, right?
I don't know about every single year, but this will be my 6th year with him.
So anyway, tell the story.
So I got a phone call from a gorgeous bodybuilder friend of mine named Isabel Terrell, and she said, "Hey, were you still interested in singing the national anthem for the Arnold Classic? Because they forgot to book a national anthem singer this year, and I threw your name on the table." And I said, "It's too early to be playing with my emotions. You can't do this." And she said, "I'm not playing." She said, "I've got Bob Ciccarello here, the voice of bodybuilding." I said, "I know exactly who that is." And she said, "Well, he's with me. Say hi." I said, "Hi." And this deep booming voice, "Good morning, good doctor." I was like, "Ah!" And so he was like, he said, "Can you give us a quick sample?" I was like, "Sure can." I was at work, actually. I grabbed my car keys, went to the car, rolled up the window, turned on the AC, and sang. And he was like, "Perfect." They called me back in 15 minutes. "The gig is yours." Now, here's the deal. For this particular event, the Arnold was in 3 days.
Oh,
That happened on a Wednesday.
Mm.
I was like, okay. But I mean, we did it. I went, I grabbed with me a couple of girlfriends. I said, my friend V, she said, "Okay, you need 2 kinds of people with you. You need one of each." He said, "You need somebody that's going to keep you together, and then you need your hype girl." And I was like, I know exactly who I'm bringing. So I brought my girl Kat, and I brought my girl Tia. She now dances for me on stage with my dancers. They're called Gen X, Generation X. And I love it. And yeah, we just did it. We knocked it out. It was during COVID. And so right after that, so this was what? September 2020. And because all of this happened in February, with Disturbed happened in February of 2019. And so everything just got crazy in 2020. And they were like, "Yeah, we need you." So I did it. I sang. I didn't know if I was going to meet Arnold. I always call him Mr. Arnold to his face. He's still, I've met a lot of celebrities, and I think I've done really, really well. But there is something about Arnold Schwarzenegger that floors me. There is something about Arnold that I lose all cool points. I lose it. And so, Bob was saying, "Well, I don't know if, he's Arnold, he's done this a lot for years. He's tired, he may not want to sign autographs. But Arnold, he's like in his mid to late 70s, give the guy a break, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I understand. He's had enough of all the fanfare. I understand. No problem." So Bob says, he said, "I tell you what, though," he said, "have your shirt ready, have your Sharpie ready, and be ready to go." He said, "And if you sing the way you sang in sound check, I guarantee you he'll probably want to sign something for you." And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I sang, I walked off stage, and Bob said, "Yeah, go down there and get your autograph, sis. You you earned that one." And Arnold was standing right at the bottom of the steps, and he goes, "That was awesome! That was incredible! Oh my God! Thank you so much for helping us. Thank you so much. You are amazing." And I looked at him and I just went, "Terminator." He was like, thank you so much. And I said, would you autograph my shirt, please? He goes, yes. So we autographed the shirt, and then he stood behind me. He was like, get a light. Let's get a photo. I was like, what?
See, look at those pictures. They're beautiful.
Thank you. So, yep. And so, he was like, thank you so much. And I said, can I come back? And he goes, absolutely. And I've been back since.
How good is life sometimes? I mean, sometimes it pulls us to the crap, and then it redeems itself with a few good things too. I mean, you've been
My
pushed to the
quote to
brink.
that is, you never have a testimony without a test.
Never. And that is so true, because every time you have to be the phoenix rising up from the ashes,
Absolutely.
it's because you've been beaten down. And that is so hard. What I can't read it. What's it say? What's it say?
My new song, Chosen. It says,
Oh,
I chose me. The
yes,
phoenix rising from the fire.
dude. I
My
love that
daughter
song.
designed that. Katana designed that.
Good job, Katana.
Right.
Holy moly, girl.
Right. So yes. So that's my new song. It's called Chosen. It's my very first rock song. It's out on all platforms. It's on my Spotify. It's on Apple, Tidal, YouTube, you name it. It's out there. And I wrote that song. There's a video, and I dedicated it to Disturbed, and I shared it with them. And David sent me a heart.
You know what? I think we need to have you back another time, because there's still more to talk about.
Okay.
Cool.
And at least I know I can get on with the compute with the camera.
Yeah, next time it'll be easier and flawless.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what. I will find a date where we can put you back on, because you've still got more to talk about, and I know what it is, and so do you. So, Angel, I want to thank you so much for everything and letting me be on this network and
Hi,
having the
Angel.
first.
Thank you.
He's awesome. I appreciate this, and this is going to be so much fun. And this is Angel's baby. This is his network, and I appreciate that he let me come on here. So, yay, Angel! Yes, there he is.
Yvette's got to come back on, because there's still other pictures that weren't talked about. So I'm pretty sure there's other stories to be mentioned. So this could go on forever. But yeah, it's like the tease.
This is like
Bring
a
it back.
week.
I
We're not
know.
going to do that. I'm not going to torture your listeners like that. So
No, it's not called torture. It's called entertainment, dear.
Sure is.
There's a
let
big
me
difference.
entertain you.
No. All right. Thank you all so much. This was Friday the 13th, and it was probably one of the nicer days I think I've had in a long time. So
Absolutely.
thank you
And it's
all.
always wonderful to lay eyes on you and see your face. I love you.
Same right back at ya. I love you, and I will see you for reals in August.
You know it.
Yes, ma'am. Woo. All right. Thanks, everybody. And next Friday, let's do it again.
All right. Have a good weekend. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.